Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fan Behavior. I am Zoe, back with Hannah. We're
Hello.
remotely, but that's okay. We have to do what we have to do.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest, I don't really like, I much prefer a morning race. I'm going to be honest. I know that sounds
It's
crazy.
rough. Yeah, no, because I was actually thinking about it. Like sometimes I'm just like, oh, this sucks. But today I was like, what do you mean I have to wait till 3 p.m.? Like I wasn't equipped.
No, I feel the same way. And I know that doesn't make sense because most people are used, I feel like Europeans especially, they only like watching F1 when it's on in the
Hmm.
afternoon for them. But I
Yeah.
think us, especially on the, Americas, like we're so used to watching most races in the morning that to actually watch it in our own time zone, it's like impacting the rest of my day, my flow.
Yeah. And it's funny because I know that before I have talked positively about it, and I don't know if it's like my age, because we've just grown up over the last 4 years, but I'm just like over it. I'm like, no, give it to me in the morning, please.
Yeah. And I also think part of it is because, especially in the fall, on Sundays is
It's
so
already dark.
overrun with, well, the darkness. That's not
Oh,
really
and
it. It's
football.
more the football of it all. It's just, I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. I
I
don't
hear
have to
you. Yeah, it
complain,
is what it is.
but it
Yeah.
just affects it affects things. It's all good.
Yeah.
Mexican GP, Mexico
Hmm.
GP, Mexico City, I should say. Uh, you were in Mexico, but not in Mexico City.
I was in Mexico. I was in Riviera Maya for a work trip. And it was funny. I saw so many people wearing F1 merch, and I think it's like I feel like I noticed it more. I don't know. I just feel like in the US you still don't really see it in the wild much. And I was surrounded by, you know, Mexicans and also Europeans. There's a lot of yeah, just there wasn't a lot of Americans actually at the resort that I was at.
Oh,
And so I
interesting.
just
Okay.
feel like I saw a lot of F1 merch. And of course, the girl I was with, she's so sweet and she's like really appreciates like she cares to hear about it, but she has no idea what I'm talking
I love
about.
that though.
Yeah, it's so nice. She's very
Yeah.
kind. But so I would be like, "Oh my God, there's another one." And she was like, "Cool." It's like, I'll just keep them to
Thanks.
myself.
Yeah. Do you think people were vacationing before going to the race? Do you think people were going like pre-race?
I wondered that, but then I also, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know geography. I'm not really sure it's like conducive to vacationing there before the race.
Okay.
Like Cancun area. Like I don't think that that's like super, I don't think it's driving distance
No, no,
necessarily.
not driving distance, but maybe just kind of like, well, we'll do this thing in Mexico and then take
Sure.
a quick little flyover to Mexico City,
Yeah, and maybe
you
they
know?
were, although I would have to recommend the resort trip comes after the GP because
That's
you do all that
true.
resting and relaxation and then you're just like sweating and
Yes.
not
Good point.
slumming it, but just
Yeah,
really
you're
doing the
having to
work to
walk a
enjoy
lot,
yourself.
move
Yeah,
a lot, you're in the sun a lot. I guess you are in the sun a lot at a resort too, but you can
sure.
choose to be
But
more in
there's
the
an open
shade.
bar and food unlimited and yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know, just different
A
experience, but fun.
bed right there if you need to take a nap.
Yeah, but it was funny. I was just like, oh, I'm still like, I kind of followed all of our friends who went from Austin to Mexico. I
I
was just
know.
in a very different place, but
I
it was
know.
fun.
You did. Well, good. I'm glad. I wanted to just hit on a couple of news items before we get into the race and
Sure.
qualifying and whatnot. You mentioned on last week's episode, you were talking about how you got a preview of James Coker's content that he was going to do with Yuki and Isaac and Liam,
Hmm.
and those videos came out.
Yes.
And I do have to say, of the three, Yuki was the one who seemed to connect with the game the best.
Which is what I
Isaac,
told him would happen.
but you said Isaac would get
Oh,
it.
did I?
Yeah, you thought
Oh,
it would be Isaac.
that's true. I did say Isaac, but I did also, he also actually, now that I think about it, I don't think he told me that I don't know if he knew he was meeting with Yuki. So he just said it
Okay.
was for Liam and Isaac. And
Okay.
yeah, Isaac, now I will say he also ran me through the game. Like I had the same, I mean, obviously it wasn't filmed because no one cares, but I had the same experience of like, okay, where is the trick question? And I didn't, I forgot he was there with Ford, or I didn't really like put it all together. And then the second I saw the Dark Horse Mustang, I was like, I see what we're doing. Um, yeah, it was. Liam was he was just like, "What are we doing?" Like, I don't know. My favorite though is the tip screen slide at the end because it does trigger everyone. Like Liam was just like, "This is the worst. Like, I hate that screen so much."
Yuki gave 25%.
Of course he did, as he should. James deserves 30% in my opinion. Plus
Yeah,
plus.
for sure, for sure.
So good.
Yeah,
Turned
just
out
wanted to,
so
yeah,
well.
wanted to shout that out because it was very funny and
Yeah.
it definitely seemed to they seemed to enjoy it. So
Yeah. It's also
props.
funny because, like, I feel like because we know him and we follow him, like, we understand his humor so well. And no, I'm sure they've seen some of his stuff, but, like, it maybe doesn't necessarily, like, translate right away. I don't know. I do feel like I'm glad Isaac, I almost said Isaac.
Well,
I'm
that's
glad
how it's
Liam,
pronounced too.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad that Isaac and Liam did it together because I do think individually it would have been tough
It was
for,
good
it
to
would,
have a bouncing off of each other. And
yeah.
then James gave Isaac the hero of the race
Yes, he told me he was going
trophy.
to do that too, which I thought was perfect.
And that was great. Just
Yeah.
that is why I made, well, we talked about
Yes.
how important it is for F1 content creators to get chances to like interview F1 drivers or just like make
Hmm.
content. And that is a perfect example of why it
Totally.
is so necessary to have F1 creators involved because nobody else would have done that
No, it's so
except
niche.
for someone who is watching F1 every weekend and who's dialed in.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no, he killed it. The whole
killed
thing
it.
was just perfect. And then the windbreakers all weekend. I mean, he's a star.
It was fantastic.
Hmm.
We also, because he always effing delivers in the photo dumps, Pierre
Always.
Gasly giving us the content with Daniel, proving that he hung out with Daniel after you hung out with Daniel.
Yeah, that must have been why he left. Like, no wonder
But
he was in
doesn't
such a
make
rush.
sense.
He was going to get lunch with
It
PG.
doesn't make sense because Pierre was doing the sprint race at that time. So I feel like it was later in the evening,
Fine
perhaps.
point. Daniel might just be an outfit repeater,
He
or yeah, it was
and
later
he's
in the evening.
definitely an outfit repeater.
Same. I fully support
Um,
it.
but I just, once again, Pierre just is dialed in and he just understands the assignment and he
Hmm.
understands what the people want to see and he
Yeah.
provides that.
Yeah, I mean, he is the driver on the grid who understands the most about engagement, period. He just knows what needs to be
Period.
done.
Period. So thank you, Pierre, for that.
Hmm. And
And
his hair's coming in nicely too, by the way, I think.
and interesting that of all, I would have not. I think I also think Daniel may have played like paddle with some of the drivers too. But it
Hmm.
was interesting to me. I mean, I know Daniel
Yes.
and Pierre were friends, but like I would not have
Interesting
picked
duo.
them to go to like sit down and have a meal out of.
Yeah.
But again, maybe he already ate with Max. Maybe he ate with Lando. Like
Sure.
maybe he already spent time with
Yeah,
other
and like Pierre's
drivers.
the one who's gonna like get a
Share
good
it.
ROI on that experience, you
Exactly.
know? But also like they could have been, Daniel's hair is like they might have been having a business meeting in some way. I'm just kidding. No, but I'm glad they did because if they didn't, we wouldn't have gotten the
The
content that was so
content.
necessary. So,
Yep, yep, thank God.
mhm.
And then the other just like piece of content news. So FP1 in Mexico, lots of rookies drove in FP1. And the reason for that, in case
Including friend of the pod,
including
Pato
friend
Award.
of the pod, Pata Award. Yes, exactly. Mexican hero.
Hmm.
But in case people missed why there's so many, because every team they have to give up their race or they have to give up an FP1 session for a rookie driver. And
Just one or multiple?
each driver has to give up
One. Okay.
once, but it's two different
Right, right, right.
drivers. But the
I
reason
did know that.
why they do it in Mexico, FP1 is because basically like the data that you collect in FP1 like has no bearing on the rest of the like it's not important necessarily because of the timing that FP1 is. It's so different from when qualifying is or when the
Ah,
race is that like it's not that helpful for a driver to have it anyway. So it's they're more willing to give it to a rookie because it's like, well, it's not like, oh my God, we need this
yeah.
data for our own race and qualifying. So
Got it.
that's why. But
Good to
fun to
know.
see all these people, getting to live out their dreams of being an F1 driver, even just for a practice session. Like,
Yeah.
good for them. But during that, George Russell decides to go incognito,
Yeah.
put on a mask, put on a jacket, and get into the stands to watch FP1. And I just thought that was hilarious.
It was hilarious, and I also have a little bit of beef with just
Oh,
people because it was giving a Cinderella story. Like, we know who you are.
okay, but
Um,
see,
maybe out of context, I mean, I recognize the masks are different, and maybe because I saw the post,
yeah,
like I wasn't there when I saw it, but like I don't know, he just I don't know,
I
maybe I'm
know,
putting too much
I
clout in
know.
myself, but like I feel like I would have known that that was George.
Okay, I feel the same way. I'm like, how do people not know? But if you're when you're in the crowd watching,
Yeah,
you're not thinking, oh, an F1 driver. So your brain is not
not totally,
registering, you know.
totally.
And it did cover his full face. It wasn't
I
a
know,
Hillary Duff, just the eyes, you
I
know.
know.
Um,
Yeah,
that
and again, I saw it post, and also the fact that he was like, I guess it wasn't weird that I thought it's hot. Like,
I
so the fact
know.
that I also think I would have been like, why is that guy wearing a bomber jacket?
Yeah, like
But
just
again, I
roasting.
think I'm putting a lot of faith in my ability to pay attention to things, and we're not all
Right. And
100%
also,
all the time.
even if you thought you're like, that looks a lot like George, you would be like, but there's no way
But
it's
George
George.
is on track, yeah,
Or
yeah,
like in the garage. Like you're just not even, your brain is telling you there's no way
yeah,
that that's George.
yeah.
You
It
know?
was a
So
brilliant social thing though. Like, loved it.
loved it. Shout out to George. Okay, let's just jump into qualifying. So you were traveling back during the
Yeah,
qualifying session, so I can kind of fill you in on what went down, what happened. But um basically we don't really have to get into like who got out when because honestly wasn't there weren't like any major shocking Q1 Q2 exits, but Oscar was just like
yeah.
struggling the entire time, like badly struggling, like six
Hmm.
seven tenths off of Lando pace struggling, and it was like what is going on, so much to the point that people were like, is there like a power unit issue? This is not just like your typical, oh, one driver favors this track over the other. This is like
Yeah, like something's wrong with the car.
something's wrong.
Or it's the repercussions.
Well, actually, Oscar did say that the repercussions are done.
Yeah, which
So
like
I'm glad
then
we
you
had that
never should have
clarified.
talked about
I
it.
know.
Like anyway, I can't get into that.
It's fine. But anyway, so he was struggling a lot. It was just like, oh my God, this is not going well for Oscar at all. Like
Yeah.
championship, all the things. Lando gets pole. Lando has an incredibly impressive
Yeah.
lap, like
I
pulls
did
it
see the recap
out,
of that.
amazing. And like Lando is surging up and Oscar is going down. Like
Hmm.
this is not the time for if you're like an Oscar fan, this is not what you want to see happening because
No.
he was basically on the up and up going into the summer break, and then it's kind of been slowly downhill since then.
Hmm.
And Lando, it's the opposite. He's building, 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 and showing up, showing out. Oscar does qualify P8, which seemed like a disaster in the moment. Again, if you're an Oscar fan, it's just like, what the heck?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, what the heck?
Especially when Lando's on pole. I mean, it's one thing when that happens with like Max and Yuki. We're kind of used to that at this point, but the two of them are usually so close together that yeah,
Exactly.
it's pretty shocking.
We did get a Ferrari P2, P3, which
Hmm.
was fantastic, at least initially. I mean, it was
Of
good for
course.
one, wasn't good for the other when the race happened, but it was fun. It was fun to see. And of course, as always, you can always count on Lewis Hamilton when he after a qualifying session, if he's in the top three, he is going to address the crowd. He is
Of
going to
course.
say thank you to the fans, shout out to the fans. He may even
Hmm.
speak in the language, the native language. I'm surprised
Almost always.
we did not get any
I know.
Spanish from him.
Yeah.
I was surprised by. I thought he would
Yeah.
throw out, a gracias or something like that, but
Yeah.
no.
Muchas gracias, probably.
Yeah, it's just like where was that? But
That is pretty shocking,
he
actually.
he does understand. Some may say it's pandering, and maybe it is but again, two things can be true at once.
But he's the rock star. I mean, he is the rock star of the grid. Like, that's just how they handle those situations. Like, that's just what you do.
Yes, and it's like it is nice when you're in
Hmm.
the crowd for a driver to acknowledge you and say,
Yeah.
"Thank you for being
This
there."
is the best crowd ever. It's like,
You're the loudest crowd we've heard so far.
heard that before. Thank
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah, we can see right through that.
Yeah, totally.
Um,
Stop gaslighting us.
Max is P5, which was kind of shocking because obviously he's also in the title fight too. So it was
Hmm.
like, oh gosh, that's not a great qualifying position for Max, but you know what? C'est la vie, as we say.
Say Levi. Exactly.
Um, and Carlos was P7, but he had a 5 place grid penalty from his incident in
Yeah,
So
this
he
was not
bumped,
his weekend.
no, and honestly, I have beef. I have beef.
Why?
We'll get to that later.
Okay. With
Um,
Carlos or
with Carlos, with
okay.
Carlos.
All right, I can't wait.
Well, maybe it's not really Carlos's fault. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. And then Isaac and Ollie P9, P10, and Ollie P10, and then what happened today, like lots of
Wild.
stuff. Anything else you want to talk about in quali before we get to the race?
No, I
All
don't
right,
think so.
let's move right along. So, a lot of talk, leading up to the race start of like, because pole position is not necessarily always where you want to be, and a lot of
Which is so
chat.
interesting because it's like you can't not try and go for pole, but
Yeah,
there are certain tracks where like pole really isn't like
yeah, it's
necessarily your
not great.
friend.
No.
Yeah.
And a lot of talk of, okay, who's going to actually be the leader coming out of the first couple of turns? Lando keeps the lead. He gets away
Hmm.
clean. Same cannot be said for people behind him because
No.
Max gets all, I don't even know. I think actually
Hmm.
Crofty at some point said like a kerfuffle is happening. I think he
Yes.
used the word
And it
kerfuffle.
that is exactly
Um,
what
but
happened.
he gets kind of forced off the road, so he's like off on the escape route, cuts right back in. Um, I mean, George was pissed because he thought Max like got an advantage. George was, ooh, he was
Well, he
on
was
one
feisty today. I
today.
will say too, I appreciated the lack of British bias when George was frustrated that Max like gained an advantage, and they were like, "No, it's very clear that Max." I mean, facts made it hard to have make it hard to have British bias, but you know,
Yeah,
credit where credit's due.
credits where credit is due. Yes. Um, Oscar fell back at the start behind Yuki, which, it's like,
It's tough for you.
for me as a
Yeah,
Yuki
it's like
Oscar
woohoo, and
fan,
oh
for
no.
fighting for P8, I was just like, this is not what I want right now to be
Hmm.
seeing. But, and it's like at that point I was like, okay, Yuki, just let him go, please. Like in all these things, I have to think of the bigger picture. I'm thinking of the larger picture, which is the championship. Unfortunately, obviously Yuki is not in contention for that. So it's
Yeah.
like Oscar is priority in this situation for me personally.
Hmm.
Um, then Ollie gets by Max because Max tries to go for a move. Was Max going for a move on Lewis? I think
Yeah, I
he
think so.
was. And then there was another kerfuffle situation. Lewis goes off, and that's where he gets his 10-second penalty, which tough for Lewis.
Sucks. Yeah.
But Ollie takes advantage, gets in front of Max, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's like, is Ollie going to get a podium? Like
I
it
know.
seemed like it was a potential, given the penalty, given the Lewis penalty and all that stuff. It was like there's a chance that Ollie could have a
Yeah.
podium here. His dad was stressed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course he was. Like, I didn't think I'd ever be able to pull this hat out
That's
again. It's so
true. I actually
exciting.
didn't even notice that you had the hat on.
Mhm.
Congrats.
Earlier, I had these glasses on, which I took off one because of the reflection, but also because I look like Wayne's World. And it's not Halloween, so not yet.
Yeah. Actually, my mom asked if we were gonna dress up for anything like on the pod for Halloween.
Oh,
And
oops.
I was like, well, there isn't anything iconic like the Lewis and Charles picture. Like that was
Yeah.
so, for those who haven't been around, like Hannah and I recreated the mood Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc
Hmm.
photo when they did the collab post after they both got disqualified in
Iconic.
Austin a couple years ago now at this point.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious and it was funny. And we got on the Mercedes Instagram page, which was
Hmm.
fun. But I can't think of anything that's like iconic like that,
No.
unfortunately.
Which is
So
fine. I don't have time to cricket an
we don't
entire
have
race suit, two entire race suits.
No, maybe we can figure out maybe we'll just dress up as something random on a random like non-Halloween, just like,
Oh, okay.
if anyone
Yeah.
had any suggestions of anything funny we could do, just let us
Yeah.
know. But anyway, yeah, his dad, see, that's a instance in which cutting to a family member is necessary for the plot because it really was
Yeah.
like, okay, Ollie, big moment for him. His dad is very nervous.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I'm kind of all over the place. So cut in, like
Great.
if I'm
No, no,
forgetting
no. You're
anything.
killing it.
But okay, so Liam DNF's like initially he got damaged, I think like opening lap or something,
Yeah.
and but then did you see he almost freaking hit Marshalls running across the track?
No.
Okay, not like literally hit them, but he had pitted because he had had damage, and so he was
Yeah.
coming back around, and he was like I don't know a minute back from the rest of the um pack, and there were marshals running across the track like trying to clear debris, but Liam was like on like not that far back from them. It was like,
That's
what are you doing?
crazy.
And Liam was like, I almost freaking like hit these people.
Yeah.
Very unsafe, very
Yeah,
dangerous.
who's keeping an eye on the flags?
Well, and or I don't know if there were, I don't
No, no,
think
but
there were.
I'm saying if someone sees Liam coming and someone sees marshals on the
Yes.
track, a yellow flag must fly.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know. A flag must fly. Which was that, yeah, so that was a little dicey, but Liam DNFs, Nico DNFs, he had like a power
I know.
unit issue like before the race even started.
Yeah, it's too bad, man.
Um, so bummer for him. Carlos gets a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Now I
Uh,
am curious if he knew he was speeding and then came up with the like my car is
yeah,
juking.
yeah.
Um,
Oh no.
quick thinking if he did, but it is curious. I mean, it could have been a mechanical issue, but
It definitely
rules
could
are
have been.
rules.
Yeah, I mean I don't
Never
think it
heard of that happening before, but that doesn't mean it doesn't.
I don't think this is the same thing at all, but I that makes me think of when I think it was it Brazil? I can't remember where we were when Nicholas Latifi turned into that like he thought that was the that he like took like an escape road, but it was like he thought that that was the actual track and he was like, "Wait, how
Bless
like
him.
he like thought his car he said like his car
Turned
magically
on its
turned."
own,
Like that's what he was basically saying. Like I don't know how that happened. Like
like some paranormal
yeah,
activity.
it was
It's
a
like, babe,
Ouija
come on.
Ouija board. It just moved
Yeah.
on its own.
That was so weird.
Yeah, but to be fair, if I was an F1 driver and made a mistake, I would do the exact same thing.
Say some dumb shit on the radio
I'd
that
be
everyone
like,
knows is bullshit.
or
Yeah.
just like that wasn't me. That was like something crazy happened. I can't
Yeah. I'm
explain
being
it.
haunted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course. Fernando also had to retire. I don't really know. Did they explain what happened to him?
No, why? Because why would they? Like that would only
Okay.
just be helpful.
I
Sorry, I have
thought
to readjust my light.
they maybe didn't know that they maybe didn't know why at that point in time, like the
Sure, but
commentators.
like you are bringing up like halfway through the race, they're like, we're investigating the turn one incident between Max and Lewis. I was like, neat. That was an hour ago. Like,
Yeah, that was very delayed.
yeah. So it's
Very
like we could
delayed.
still find out. Anyway, I just feel Fernando's got a real bad run this year.
He might be haunted, or
Yeah, he
he
could
might
be.
have some sort of someone out there,
He's haunting someone.
well, I was gonna say no, no, no. It's much more likely that somebody out there in the world has a voodoo doll or something,
Yeah, a
and
hex
they
on
are
him.
poking that voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And he
Okay,
probably deserves it, but I still feel bad.
yeah, exactly. Okay, I want to talk about the whole Ollie, George, Kimmy, Oscar
Yes.
moment because I
hmm
feel like that was really quite, that
Yeah, George was
for
really
me
on one, and I just want to thank the production for like making sure we heard it all.
being our so Ollie is in fourth, I believe, at this point
hmm
in time. Kimmy's in fifth. George is in sixth. This could be wrong. The actual order could be wrong, but Ollie's in front. Then it's Kimmy, George, and Oscar. And George is just like, I'm faster than Kimmy. Please let's switch spots so that I can try to catch Ollie because and if I and he said he's like
I know.
if I can't, I can switch back. Like I'm fine with that, but let's try to go for it here.
Yeah. But what was
And
funny is before even that interaction, his engineer was like, "Great, you're free to overtake."
yes, free
And
to
I
overtake.
know I understand, but I'm also I I appreciate the like, yeah, we'll go for it then. Like if you have the pace, rage. Like
Yes, yes.
I know it's not that easy, but
No,
I
and it's
appreciated
like
that.
yeah, and then but Oscar is behind George
Yeah.
trying to get past George. And then the engineer is like, "Well, actually George, we kind of need to like lay off a bit because of your
Yeah.
brakes or something, right?"
Yeah.
And then George is just like, what do you say? Like, I have a McLaren up my ass.
Yeah. Oh wait, did I take a picture of that one? No.
He's like,
No, but yeah, he was like, I have a McLaren up my
like,
ass,
what do you want me to
just a
do?
lot
Let
of
them
bleeps.
pass?
Yeah.
It was
He's like,
hilarious.
do you want me to let him pass? Like, that's fine. He's like, no, we do not. And he's like, all right, well then just let me know when we're switching positions.
Like he was just, which listen,
Totally.
I get it. And I think, and they even said this on because then they do end up deciding
I
to
know.
let him, they
Like 5 laps
swap.
later.
And it's like too little too late, you
Yeah.
know? And at that
Especially
point,
because I will say, like, kudos to him, and I believe him. I mean, it's not like I think he was making up a story. Like, if he couldn't do what he was saying he was going to do, he would give the positions back, but also he was like having a really hard time holding Oscar off.
right. It's just like if we want to, be if
Yeah,
we
like who
actually
is
want
this
to,
McLaren? What are we doing?
yeah, exactly. So, anyway, yeah, they did swap. Oscar, I want to say, like, despite him having a shitty qualifying, I thought he did really well in the
Yeah.
race, actually. I mean, could he have gotten by Yuki a little faster? Probably. Like, there were some situations where I was like, okay, he took a while to get by George. He only
Hmm.
got by Kimmy in the pit stop.
Yeah.
But I felt like, where did he end up finishing fifth?
Yeah.
Okay, like starting in eighth, finishing in fifth.
Hmm.
You
And
know,
like considering what was going on with this car, like I mean,
yeah.
it's all things considered,
Yeah.
it
Now,
sounds like he was
one
dealt a
would
shitty.
say, okay, or I guess he started in seventh technically because of the Carlos
Hmm.
penalty, but he is probably looking at Ollie starting in 10th and getting fourth and saying like, well, shit, I probably like
Well, yeah.
I should have gotten past Ollie. Like I should have at least been fourth.
Yeah, but
Um,
this is what's so interesting to me because this is where it comes down to like how important the cars are. Like it seems like the Haas upgrade is kicking ass, especially at this race, and Oscar's car's like on fire or something.
yeah, or he's just not.
It's like what can you like can could he have done something or like because in my opinion, I mean, just knowing the kind of driver Oscar is, like if he could have gotten past Ollie, I feel like he would have, but maybe he's also just like super in his head. I don't know.
We'll get to that too because I guess he did have a chance to get Ollie.
Perfect.
Alex was also very salty on the radio, as he typically is at this
Yeah, I really love that he's allowed that part of himself
to
to
shine
be
through.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
And
just like,
like this is the worst strategy I've ever heard. That was perfect. I was like 10 out of 10. Love you. And all I could think about actually was the video of them talking like just being chummy about barbecue. And
mhm.
then like and he's just like you suck.
Like, you are so dumb.
You should get a different job immediately.
I do think it is funny, like the drivers. Alex has to be. I can't think of another driver who is, I feel like, not that he's like crazy on the radio, but
Hmm.
his radio persona is very
Yeah.
different I feel, to his real like persona. He
Yeah.
just, whereas most of the drivers, I feel like it's pretty similar. Like
Hmm.
Oscar or Yuki or Max, you could say is kind of more, but Max always still has that like he
Lion
still
in him.
he still has that dog in him, yeah.
Hmm.
um so I just feel like Alex is like, he just lets himself be his sassiest version
Yeah.
of himself on the radio at all
Yeah.
times, and I love
Which
it.
is great. I mean, I feel that like I'm pretty sassy all the time, but like I'm sassy rude in a work environment as well sometimes. And yeah, it's important. I think it's cathartic.
Yeah, so you would be the Alex in
Totally.
if F1. That's actually kind of a fun game. Like
Hmm.
which radio do you think you'd be most like? Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
I
you're
mean,
like
I
an
would,
Alex George,
yeah,
maybe
because
a
then I
you're
do
like
get that way. I'm like at work, I'm just like, so th people will just kind of mess with, whatever, because they know that I'm getting wound up. I'm like, this actually really is a terrible time to fuck with me. Like, I'll destroy you, and it's just not a good time.
I think you're an Alex Sun, a George Moon, and a Charles Leclerc rising
Okay, yeah,
together. And I think that
yeah.
I am probably like a Carlos. There's some Carlos. There's some
Hmm.
know-it-all energy.
Sure.
There's some Oscar, I
Hmm.
would say, and I'm gonna say who would my third one be? Maybe a Lando.
Yeah, I can
Like
see that.
a little sassy, a little
Hmm.
like I don't really want to be like, you're kind of,
Yeah. But it's sassy, like you're not dragging that part out. It's like very quick and to the point, you know?
yeah, and then and I'm gonna also kind of be like, it's because I feel like Lando's is always kind of sassy, like you're kind of dumb, like you're being
Yeah,
dumb
like what
sassy.
I already know this. Why are you telling me this? Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
exactly.
that's really good actually.
Okay, fun.
Totally. Let us
Um,
know your sun, moon, and rising in the
yeah, on the
comments.
radios, yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid if you are a Yuki Sun, Max Moon, and a who's another like wild one on the radio.
Fernando.
That's funny though. You're an entertaining person. I'd like to spend
Hmm.
time with you. That would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
At least like a little bit of time. I don't know if we'd be able to be close friends.
Very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people were on a one stop. Like, well, I guess maybe only to be totally honest with you
Max wasn't
guys.
sure, neither was
Yeah,
GP.
that was funny. That
That
was
was
funny.
funny.
He's like, I can hear you guys. Like,
Yeah.
this radio is not meant for
Embarrassing.
me. Yeah. Thank God he wasn't saying anything. He was just
Yeah.
asking me about the strategy. I'll be totally honest. I was paying very little attention to anyone below like P10 the entire race.
Same.
Like I
Well, there
won't.
was so much going on in this race. I mean, usually we have to pay attention because it's like where the action is, but this
Yeah.
race there was just way too much going on.
I think at one point Gabby gets into P10 and I was like,
Hmm.
I have not been paying attention to
Yeah,
like
I didn't
who was
even know he
fighting
was
for
here.
P10. Like I was just not
Yeah.
clocking. It was not clocking to me. And but Max, I know for certain, was on a one stop, and the
Hmm.
rest pretty much did a two stop race, which I know they talked about this on the broadcast. Like, why did Ollie, like, should Ollie have tried the one stop? Would that have made it, would that have maybe like, I don't think he would have
I don't
kept,
think so.
I think fourth was his best position, best
Hmm.
possible position. And he's lucky he, not, I mean, he did an amazing job, but
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
but
think
I think that was the right strategy
it
for
was the
that
right
team
strategy. Yep,
today.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, And so we get to the end of the race, and it's like Max is catching Charles Leclerc. Like, I think at one point Charles like this. Just for your info, like this is my pace. Like
Yeah, like
this. Is,
this is all I got. Do not ask me to do any more because I cannot and I will crash
yeah,
into a wall.
this is it. So just you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So Max is just catching, and then at the same time, Oscar is catching Ollie, and it's
Hmm.
like the 3 4 laps left, and it's this battle, and we know that if Oscar finishes in fifth, he's going to be 1 point behind Lando in the championship. If he finishes in front of Ollie, if he finishes in fourth, he's going to be 1 point ahead or 2 points ahead, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, and it was just like, oh my gosh. And then we get a freaking virtual safety car because of
I
freaking
was
Carlos Sainz.
screaming.
I
Screaming for several reasons. One, the minute the VSC flies, show me what's happening with Carlos so that I can tell you that it was the wrong
right, they
call.
never showed it. That's the
I
thing.
know because they screwed up. I'm certain of it.
Yeah, well, but to be fair, the TV
No.
direction is not it's not in cahoots with the marshals
We
and the
are in no
stewards.
place to say that. We have absolutely no idea that that's true. And I would argue that it, in fact, is not true. I do think they are in cahoots. They are cahooting for sure.
Okay, well, to be fair, yeah, we don't know, but
No,
it
but it's
was
way more likely that they're in
because
cahoots.
Crofty was like, I'm seeing where Carlos's car is. Like, they don't think they needed to have a VSC. Honestly, they just needed to have like they needed to just do a yellow flag for where his car is and
Right, which is
just
where they started. I was shocked that they threw it because the minute they put the VSC out, which is why I was also annoyed that we didn't see, is it was like, oh, well, maybe Carlos is still like on the track.
yeah,
But I was raging.
I
I was
know.
so mad because, like, I'm sorry, we don't get racing like this very often. What are you doing?
No.
At least add another lap and then halfway through to shut it off?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And listen, this will just go to show like how unbiased I am. I guess I'm kind of biased because I'm a
How
Charles Leclerc
unbiased you
fan.
can
I'm a
be.
Charles Leclerc fan, and the VSC benefited Charles Leclerc,
Yeah,
but I also wanted Oscar to pass Ollie,
yeah,
points. Now, to
yeah,
be fair, I do think had there not been a VSC, I do think Max would have passed Charles. I don't know that Oscar would have passed Ollie.
yeah.
But I think it would have been a lot closer
Hmm.
if there wasn't. But I was mad about that,
I
and I
was
just
ticked. And also like there is, I mean, I know Charles like when that happened, he was obviously guaranteed really basically to keep his position, so I know it was good for him. But also like I don't know. I guess with the year he's had, maybe he's just over the moon. But like if I'm Charles Leclerc, like I want to prove to everyone that I could have kept that position.
sure, yeah, he's
I mean,
probably
he
like
couldn't have.
whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Um, I was fuming. And also like that's a garbage way to end one, in my opinion, like one of the best races we've had this year and like most exciting like for the whole time.
hmm
And I don't know. I feel like why can't you just add another lap? Like I don't.
or
I
just
was
don't bring out the VSC if you don't have to. I can understand ending on a VSC or or just a safety car if you have to end on a safety car.
totally.
Like, that's fine. If there's debris or a crash or
Yeah.
something, but if you don't have to, don't do it.
Yeah. Well, at first I was really excited because I was like, oh, I wasn't paying attention to how many laps were left and that it was like the last lap because I was like, oh, this would actually be sick because if they all get tightened up, like Max could not only overtake Charles, but like have a very small chance of winning the whole thing, and that would be great. No.
Yes. If
They're
it
like,
had
we're just gonna
happened
ruin your
like
day.
7 laps sooner, it would have been awesome.
I know.
But I will say though, credit to Max, who was basically like when he was asked about it, he was like, sometimes the safety car. And you know what? He has to say that because he is
Yeah. Part of one of the
benefited
biggest
the
safety car
absolute most. Yeah. But if he
conspiracies of our
didn't,
generation.
that if he didn't say that, people would be like, "Are you being effing for real?" So
Yeah.
self-awareness. He had good self-awareness to say sometimes
Yeah.
it works and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been pretty messed up if he was like, "This is a injustice of the highest form," you know?
Yeah, but which he's never said in his entire existence. I don't
Not
even know
yet.
if he's ever used those words together.
Has he ever said the word injustice?
Mm, probably not. I mean, I don't know. In his like regular normal life where he maybe would say that, he's probably not speaking English all the time. So,
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
yeah,
Um,
we'll have to ask Daniel.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to focus on the
Say
fact.
lie.
Good job to Ollie. P4 is really, these rookies are showing up and showing out. I mean,
Hmm.
we almost
Except for,
had
yeah, never mind.
we almost had 3 rookie podiums this season, which is crazy.
I
Like,
know, it's really great.
that's unbelievable. And so he did
Yeah.
such a great job. Like, shout out to him. Gabby got points, which was
Hmm.
great for him. Um, Charlotte Claire P2, Max P3, like great. We are now, so as I said, Lando was just like
Zoom. I mean, he was max last
off
year.
on an
Like he was
island by
just, yeah,
himself.
gone.
It
Yeah.
was so impressive, like incredibly dominating win. Like
Hmm.
I can't think of the last time he had a win that dominant.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was very Max Verstappen-esque, like
Hmm.
2022 Max. But so Lando right now has 357 points. Oscar's at 356 and Max is at 321. So Max is whatever that is, 36 points behind Lando,
Which
which
is like
he's
a race
chipping
win and a
in.
sprint win to
He's
get tied.
yeah, I mean, like I said, one
That's,
Lando DNF
yeah.
and
Because Interlagos is
all
a sprint, right?
it is a sprint and it is Max. Max is a Brazil and Max go like this. If you're not watching, I'm doing my fingers intertwined.
Yeah.
They are in love with each other because Max last year, if you forget, that was a rain. That was a very
Oh,
chaotic,
yes.
wet race, and Max freaking dominated that race and showed everyone who he really was. And if
Hmm.
we get rain again, like, whew, this is just getting scary, you guys. I'm
No, it's
getting scared.
fun. This
It
is
is fun. It
exciting.
is fun. The one thing I'm a little bit, again, as an Oscar fan, I'm
Hmm.
not loving the trajectory. I wish it
Sure.
was more two drivers that are at their peak.
Yeah.
I don't want it to see him like completely slip out of it, you
Yep. I
know?
understand that.
So we just need Oscar to just lock the F in.
Yeah.
If Mark Webber or whoever, like if you need me to give him a pep talk or something, like I'm happy to do that. I'm sure he would love to hear from me.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he listens every week, so he'll hear it.
totally.
Yeah.
Now, okay, we got some questions about this, but I was gonna ask you about it anyway. The booing, the Lando
Pissed.
booing. But why do you think he was being booed? Because they cheered Charles and they cheered Max. Now, Max, that makes sense.
They
Like,
also seem to be
Checo.
cheering Lando at first. Is that not true?
I guess I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't like I wasn't noticing like the standout of the cheering. I just feel like when James mentioned like you're leading the championship is when people booed.
Maybe they're more Oscar fans. I don't know. And like this is the thing, like Max also used to get booed all the time. So maybe they just hate winners. I don't know. It's
Maybe.
it's super weird, but I just hate it in everything. Like I just
Yeah, you're very anti-booing.
well, and like I think there's a time and a place. Like there are certain people who yeah, like there's absolutely no doubt in the world that we should be booing the hell out of them.
Sure.
Several
Yeah.
people come to mind, but
But
like someone for doing a good job, like as far as I know, he hasn't done anything cancelable and
well,
like
yeah, that's what they were saying on the broadcast because they were like, did he have beef with Checo? They were like trying to
I
like
know, I
figure
remember
out
that, but I was like,
if
I don't
like I was
think
like, I don't think
so.
they ever had like not that I can remember there being any like beef. I because like last year, was it I think it was last year, the Liam Checo beef. Do you remember that when like Liam flipped Checo off and everything?
Yeah.
Like, okay, if it was Liam, I could understand them being like,
Sure.
Boo. Because like then when was the year where Checo's dad? I think it was Lewis was getting booed, and Checo's dad was like wagging his finger at the crowd.
We
Stop.
don't do that here. I love Checo's dad so much. We should have him on the pod.
That, that was hilarious. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just if anyone knows why they were booing, is it just
Yeah, or any
general?
theories?
Yeah, I don't. I was just trying to figure out like is just Lando not
Especially because he
particularly
didn't do
liked?
anything like in the race to screw anyone else's race up. Like he was 30 seconds away from everyone. So it
Yeah.
was just like
Maybe
he
it's an
wasn't,
anti-McLaren thing. Maybe it's anti-McLaren.
maybe. I don't
I
know.
don't know. And just kind of weird, but
Yeah.
congrats to Lando. He did a very good job, it has to be said.
Yeah.
Ollie was driver of the day though, right?
By a
And
landslide. I
he
think he got
deserves
like
that.
40% or something.
Oh, okay.
Also, just this is on my brain and I would like to get it out, but because the Checo of it all got me thinking Colton Hurta is going into FP2. I mean, FP2.
He's, he is going to.
Eventually, he will be in FP2. He's going into F2, and when he does practice one, eventually in F1, we have to recreate a video with my audio saying that he's coming in.
I wish we could remember what episode that was. If anyone
I don't know. It's
remembers
in the
the
archives.
episode.
I'm wearing a brown tank top and I have a ponytail on, and it's blurry as hell. And it was when we were still sitting on the couch with the wall and the poster board.
No way.
Yeah, I'm almost
Wow.
certain.
Wow. So that was like
Almost certain. It was pre-bed sheet and chairs. I'm almost positive.
for those who don't know, this is like when the rumors were, I think this is 2022. This is before Nick DeVries. This was the
Yeah.
rumors when who was
I
being
knew nothing.
replaced?
I mean, like this is why I was just like, he's Cole Nerda, he's coming in.
Oh yeah, because Pierre was going to Alpine. Like so there was a
Hmm.
seat open at back then AlphaTauri, and there were the rumors that Colton Herta was going to be coming into AlphaTauri, and
Yeah.
then Hannah was very certain that we were going to get
And
Colton.
so it was just like, no, actually, he isn't. I'm
No, but
like,
you were
oh,
right. You were right. They wanted him.
it was just delayed.
Yeah,
No
just
super
about.
license. Is that what it was?
Yeah. But I think it's for Cadillac. I don't think I think the AlphaTauri, the RB, the Red Bull ship has sailed. I think his reason for going to F2 is
Oh
to get
yeah, it is for
Cadillac.
Cadillac.
But
Yeah, I don't care how he's here. I'm just glad I
which
predicted the
which
future.
means kind of that one of Valtteri or Checo is going to be like it's suggesting that they're only going to get like a year or if Colton obviously does well. Like we don't know how he's going to do in F2.
Yeah.
But if they choose to promote him, someone's going to have to be
Hmm.
axed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm
Like
very excited.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Um, okay, anything else from the race before we get to fan and foe? I just have a couple things I wanted to touch on in fan and
I
foe.
don't think so.
Okay, do you have a fan and foe?
I do. So I have two. One is that while it's still not perfect, this race, they also have been working on the picture-in-picture situation, showing us the live while showing us the replay. I do appreciate what you're doing. I think
There,
there's still room for improvement.
I was going to say there was a moment where was it Oscar? Someone was going off. Someone was
Max.
going off, yeah, and then they were showing a Carlos Sainz replay.
Oh, then maybe not that one. But it was weird because they finished showing Max's first replay going in the grass, and then they cut. Oh,
Hannah's mic has taken a tumble, and we have to.
pardon. And then they cut to him going into the grass again, and so I was very confused. I was like, is this still the replay?
Got
But
it.
anyway, improvements need to be noted. The other thing is that this morning I had a dream um, involving Gunter Steiner, and I saw him out, and I like went up to say hi. He was in like this, which is weird, but he was in like a Ferrari bomber jacket. It was a cool jacket. I've never seen it before, so I don't. Anyway, I went up to him and I was like, "Hi, Gunter, how are you?" And he was like, "You have the podcast." I was like, I do. You have the podcast. Anyway, that was really it. So I'm just hoping that was a premonition.
Love that. I mean, Gunter definitely knows who we are.
He's got to.
He's got to.
Yeah.
Um,
He's
okay.
at least seen us before.
Speaking of Gunter and people he has a podcast with, my
Yeah.
fan is the Red Flags Yuki brain rot video that they did,
Incredible.
where Yuki, for those who missed it on the Red Flags, they did this thing with Yuki when they were in Austin, where Yuki was reading like Gen Z slang terms, words, and then Matt and Brian had water in their mouth. They were trying to not laugh,
Laugh.
basically.
Unsuccessfully.
the Mama Chichita or whatever.
Perfect. Perfect. It was so good.
It
The
was,
Mama Chichita, I was dying.
and he said it all so fast.
I know.
And
Mama Chichita. I was like,
I was
oh.
cracking up. Like it was
Now, in fairness, he did
perfect.
say it the way you would say it if like
You,
in Italian.
oh, that's true. That's
So,
true.
but
That's
it was
true.
perfect. I mean, it was
Yeah.
exactly what we were looking for.
That is true. He is well versed in the Italian language.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean him being like it's not it's not clocking to you. And he was like, I think I've heard that one actually. I think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Um,
If you've been chronically online, then yeah, you have.
yeah, that was just again another example of this is why you have F1 content creators make content with F1 drivers. Now,
Yeah.
we could be those people as well. I'm just gonna put
Yeah,
that
we
out
could be.
there too.
We are going to Vegas. We have no plans. We're available to you.
If
So
anyone
do with that what you will.
anyone wants us to do content with an F1
Mhm.
driver, we are available and
Yeah.
we are not
And
picky.
by the way, we're available for content with drivers, plural. Should that be of interest to you?
F1 team principals,
Daniel Ricciardo,
Daniel
James
Ricciardo.
Hinchcliffe, Nico Rosberg if he's going.
Yep. I mean,
We
really,
can help co-host the grid walk, whatever you're interested in.
exactly. We can provide that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have a foe?
Um, the virtual safety car and the billing were my foes.
Okay, yeah. So my foe is so I was watching FP1 on Friday during the work hour, just on in the background, whatever, as I'm working away, and they had the wonderful Jacques Villeneuve on the Sky Sports broadcast, and you all know how I feel about him.
Mhm.
As just some of his takes don't always
As a
agree.
fellow Daniel Ricciardo fan.
Yeah, he was he was talking some smack on my boy Yuki, and basically was just like not. The discussion was about what's going to happen at Red Bull. Is
Hmm.
Isaac going to go to Red Bull? Who's going to go to the V car? Blah 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 blah. And both Crofty and Karun were kind of like, it makes sense for them to do Arvin Lindblad, like the new rookie, and Yuki because Yuki has much more experience. And like, if you're wanting to develop the car, it's good to have Yuki. And Jacques was just like not having it. And his suggestion was that it should be Arvin Lindblad and Alex Palou. So, which is fine. Like, I like Alex Palou, and like, obviously, he's a fantastic driver, but just like,
Sure.
come on, guys. Like,
But why would you want two rookies on the same team when you're
yeah,
trying to develop a car that's
exactly.
brand new with brand new
And
regulations? Like,
brand
I
new
don't know a
engine.
lot, but
Yeah, no,
like,
that's exactly their
being so
point, which was
serious.
it's a brand new engine year. Like, you want somebody who has experience in the
Like
car
Cadillac's a brand new team who's picked two veteran drivers for that exact
for that
reason.
exact
Like,
reason.
didn't you, were you in this sport?
Yeah. And
Why is he
listen,
such a hater?
again, everyone is entitled, like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
I
Like, I
know, but
am
it feels
so,
personal.
it does feel personal. And it's like, why does he always hate
Why
the,
do you hate people who are joyful?
and he doesn't, he also has it, this is like a long-standing issue. He does not like, specialized helmets or like, when drivers do like special helmets, like he hates, and I just like don't get why. Like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
why does it matter if a driver has like a fun, Vegas helmet or whatever? Like, it's a
He
little,
must have really hated when Max wore the sombrero in his Mexican or Mexico GP. Remember when he was raised to the podium on his and he
oh,
had the
oh.
sombrero on?
See, I don't know if he hates because that's not he might,
I know.
he might love that
He
for
just seems very
all we know.
traditional, I guess, which
Yes,
is
he's very
fine.
traditional. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yes,
But
yes,
times have
yes.
changed. Social media is important.
Yeah. So anyway, it
Whatever.
just was annoying me. I just wanted to shout that out. But
Yeah. We'll retweet your shout out because
whatever. Okay, let's get to some of your guys' questions and then we can end this shindig.
really quick, are we circling back to your beef with Carlos?
Well, sorry, my beef with Carlos was the virtual safety car.
Oh, that he caused it. I
Yeah.
see. I see.
Like, why did you have to do that? But
Yeah.
he did not pull out he was,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's not fully his fault.
But
Obviously.
it's mostly partly his fault. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, which was your favorite George radio today? What was your favorite line?
Oh, there was honestly so many. I think the sassiness of like, oh, do you want me to get past? Like that kind of I like that passive aggressiveness
I
sometimes. It's
loved
fun.
I have a McLaren up my ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
Well, and sometimes it's like, yes, I understand what you need me to do as an engineer, but I'm in the car and like, how do you want me to do that? Like, do you have a playbook of how you want me to do that and avoid being overtaken by Oscar?
yeah,
Yeah, he was on
I
fire today.
I agree.
Princess George was here.
Yes. Do you guys think that with this gap and it being to Lando, Max can catch up more and win?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
again,
not saying he will. I think he can.
it's gonna require he cannot just win it based off of like he's gonna need some luck to go his way in terms of like
Sure.
issues with Lando and Oscar's car.
Hmm.
That is gonna have to happen, but
Hmm.
Max is capable of anything.
Yeah.
Let
He's a
it be known.
superhero.
Let it be known. A lot of questions about why Lando was getting hate and also the VSC, which we kind of got into. What's up with with fans automatically assuming Lando slash Oscar are getting sabotaged? I do think this is a common occurrence. Like basically throughout the entire season, if
Hmm.
like a driver is not getting, if it's an off week for one of those drivers, that driver's fans feel like their driver is getting sabotaged. It's like it's a
Sure.
constant like, and I just think it's just the nature of fandom in Formula One.
Yeah. It's also,
Um,
in fairness, it's also really weird timing with like the repercussions and what's going on. It does all the stuff that came out with Zach Brown. Like, I think it's not a secret that he seems to favor Lando, whether for whatever the reasons are, like their longstanding relationship, whatever.
mhm.
So as an Oscar fan, like I can understand like why it's not like unusual to have those thoughts. But I mean, I also just think I don't know. I mean, I said it earlier, like maybe it's the repercussions, and I'm kind of kidding, but because I just don't think McLaren would actually like sabotage both drivers. But there's also I don't know if they had any upgrades or anything this weekend, but it could just be something as simple as like, Lando got something in the car that Oscar didn't, or they tweaked something that they didn't in Oscar's car for like data or whatever, and it just totally there's 100 bajillion reasons why
Yeah. And also like
what happened.
sometimes we don't want to admit when we are a fan of somebody, we don't want to admit that our favorite
They're
driver or
not doing
whatever,
well.
yeah, like they made a mistake or they're not performing up to their we want to blame other external things for that.
Sure.
It's a very normal, common, natural reaction to have.
Mhm.
So I totally get that. And I don't really know. I mean,
And two things could be true at once. I mean, like, not that they physically did anything to the car, but like just all the drama could, like, I know he's a pretty level-headed human being, but this could all be like getting in his head a bit. I mean, it's always weird to me when Lando, like, the mood he was in today, like, he went full Oscar mode, like, mentally.
mhm.
And he's like, yeah, I just do what I need to do, keep my head down, don't listen to this. And I'm like, that isn't actually what you do ever.
Mm.
Like, the only times you've done that are when you've won races like this.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I do feel like maybe he's getting back into like meditation or something. And it's like sometimes he clicks into this mode that Oscar is in almost all of the time.
Sure.
Um, I don't know.
Well,
I
and
don't know.
when you have teammates that are competing, it's just natural that
Yeah.
tensions rise, emotions rise. It's very it's hard for any teammate battle. It's never going to be like, well, this is perfectly even and
Yeah.
perfect great and there is no I mean it's never going to happen. It's
No.
literally never going to happen. So we'll have to wait to see how this all I
I
mean,
know how
however
the
it shakes out, whether it's Oscar winning, Lando winning, Max winning,
hmm
it's going to be crazy no
I
matter
know.
what.
Can't wait.
And I'm already like overwhelmed at the
I
idea.
know. My hope at this point is that we do like have to get to the last race of the season before we know who the winner is.
I am crossing my fingers that that's how it is. Um,
I
and
mean,
we
because basically there's 4 races left.
yeah,
So
four
it's the
races,
only
two
way for
sprints.
us like Lando would basically have to win every single race from now until like to win before Abu Dhabi.
Well, and I think
I
other
guess
people would
I
have
can't do
to.
math.
I think I think other like Oscar would have to DNF, and
Hmm. I guess
I
I
don't know
guess
the
my real
math.
question is I wonder what the point spread is to know that like he's automatically won. Because in the past, like with Max, it was just like, well, there was just no way anyone was ever going to catch him. Didn't he win once in Austin?
Well, he won once in Japan, which used to be in the fall. So
Oh,
I can't
okay.
remember when that was. He won in Vegas last year.
Oh, that's right.
Um, but there's also two sprint races too. We have to factor
Yeah,
those in as well. So,
true. Wow.
um,
What a time.
what a time. A lot of other people asked about the Lando booing, which yeah, didn't love. I mean, yeah, I don't like the booing in general, especially like it's one thing for like teams to boo, like you're at a football
Sure.
game and you're booing the opposing
You have
team,
500,000 people booing a
like
kid.
an
It's kind
individual
of
person
crazy.
that just
Yeah.
won the race and didn't do anything to deserve any boos.
Yeah. At
I don't really like
least
that,
not today.
but I also don't know why. Like
Yeah.
it's one like for example, if Max is in Silverstone, okay, and
Hmm.
I actually don't think he really does get booed anymore, but like I could, especially like 2022, let's say, the
Sure.
year after, and if all the British fans are booing Max, it's like don't love that, but like
Yeah.
I understand why they're doing this, right? Like
There's context.
their
Yeah.
guy's Lewis, and or vice versa.
Hmm.
In the Netherlands, they're booing Lewis. Like, okay, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. Okay, anything else we want to touch on before we wrap it up?
I don't believe there is.
Okay, well, it was a good race. We have a
It
week
was a good
off
race.
next
It was fun.
week. And then we have Brazil, which is always just
I know. I love
fabulous
it.
time. A fabulous time. Gabby's home
Gabby's
race.
home race. I know. I'm so excited for him.
He's gonna have, I bet they're gonna be just like it's gonna be
Oh,
rabid for him.
pandemonium.
We will figure out what we're gonna talk about next week. I'm sure we'll think of something fun or maybe
Or
there'll be news
not,
to
but
talk about. Maybe
yeah.
there'll be something. Yeah, I want to do something else like we did with the like high school superlative, like something like fun.
Hmm.
But you run out of ideas, and we haven't
Yes,
done
if you
like
have any ideas, let us know.
we haven't done like would you rathers in a while.
Oh,
Like
that's true.
F1 would you rathers, that could be fun.
Hmm.
Anyway, if you do have ideas, as always, let us know. Okay, Hannah, will you do us the honors of ending the show?
Enchanté.